Yo,
What's up?
how's it going?
Good, good. How you doing? Can you hear me all right?
Nice. Yep, definitely. Pretty good. How are you?
Nice.
I think I
Doing
ex-
good. Had my local last night. Took work off today. Can't complain.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. How was the matchup?
Smash Camp was amazing, as always. It's
Nice,
just,
nice. Yeah, I saw
it
your
was,
run.
it was good weather. Tournament went alright. Had a good time with people, so can't get much
Nice.
better unless I won.
Yeah, for sure.
That would have been nice.
Hey, you got a set off axe though.
Yeah, exactly. It's all part of the process. I know,
Yeah.
but also would have been nice to win.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, how's it going? Like, what are we going over today? Like, what's the melee deal?
Yeah, ices. So definitely a matchup I'll run into at my local a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a matchup where I feel like I have a lot of pieces of information from like your lessons, Ginger, like Squid,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't really have like a cohesive game plan, and like I often like leave the set kind of confused as to like if what I even did was even a strong game plan. Like I'm happy to lose if my game plan just got outplayed, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't really feel like I even know what interactions I should be playing or like when I have advantage and like when I should push that type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um, yeah, so I mean, I was thinking for today's lesson, I watched some of my games and I just wrote down like a million different questions. I figured we could start there. I kind of categorized them into like offense, defense, lasers, that type of stuff.
Okay. That sounds
And then if
cool.
we have time, maybe we watch some of the slippies.
Okay.
Cool. And if it helps to like, I don't know, open training mode and like share screen or something, like feel free.
Yeah, no, that's normally what I end up doing if you're asking questions.
Okay, cool, cool. So why don't we start with like some of like the more specific questions and then maybe at the end we can wrap it up into a more like cohesive game plan after we've kind of dove into
Okay.
the specifics of it.
Sounds good to me.
Um, okay, cool. So let's see. First category I had was like lasers. In this matchup, is this like generally a matchup I want to err on the side of like lasering more heavy or less?
Um, so the um hmm. Like I would say you want to be careful with the lasers like when you're first setting them up. Uh like for instance, there's like a lot of situations against other characters where like maybe you can drop through the side platform laser cuz they're on the other side of the stage. And with ICs maybe they can just get there too quickly and be able to like punish the drop through laser, something like that. So like there are like certain spots where the lasers like maybe are a little punishable from further away due to their speed, or sometimes they can also kind of like force their way in because there's like two of them, so they'll just kind of like mash in your direction and kind of get through the lasers. Um, but overall, like lasers are really good. Most of the time, you don't need that many of them to create a situation where like the so okay, let me kind of go back a step. So basically, like when the more ice climbers play the game, and I say this in almost every lesson I give about ice climbers, like if they are moving around with you, like you're moving around and they're moving around, or you're trying to hit them and they're trying to hit you, the odds of something going kind of wrong and Nana getting desynced or thrown into like a weird state is like really high.
Okay.
So moving around while you're fighting them and forcing them to like deal with platforms and stuff like that is like one way to sort of like look for possible positions where Nana is not like perfectly synced up and stuff like that. And the laser is just like a really good way to sort of add on to that in like a way that most characters cannot do. So like for example, let's say you do laser, and then so let's say you're gonna do something like laser full hop to top plat or something like that from like the corner. And in fact, I'll just bring up Uncle Punch already. I think that's a good idea. Sorry, let me get my controller out.
Oh, you're good.
But basically, the idea is that like if they try to do something like maybe take laser wave dash in like between the lasers, a lot of times maybe the laser will hit Popo, and then Nana will still get the wave dash, so Nana, like, kind of wave dashes in without Popo.
Okay.
And then it can just, like, create extra situations that are sort of weird for them. Okay, so let me... let's see. Okay, so let me screen share for you, and then I can talk about this. Let's see, there's that.
Perfect. I can
Okay,
see.
screen share is working?
Yep.
Okay, so let's say I do this. Like that, okay? Normal, basic stuff. And they're trying to, like, get in. This kind of happens.
Okay.
See that? Where, like, they're kind of, or, like, they try to dash attack, and then, and then they try to wave dash, and they're all kind of, like, discombobulated from the lasers. And so, especially, I shouldn't have gone this stage. Especially if you're somewhere, like, here, and we do something like this. I don't know, something like this, okay? And then they're doing, like... Oops, let's see, they do... Like, they try to get me. They can end up, like, here. Like, I was just kind of pressing normal buttons.
Right.
Like, while I'm going through this, so it's like... Okay, so it's like they dash forward... Oops. Man, come on, stop being weird. Okay, so... They watch, they'll like dash forward, and it's just Popo, because Nana's on like that 6-frame delay, right? So then just Popo gets hit, but then maybe they tried to like wave dash at that exact moment. So like here they both got the wave dash just barely, but then I interrupted Nana because she's in front, and then I'm like full hopping out of the way. And then as Popo, I had tried to do like a full hop back air, but I had like the jump got eaten. So then I just ended up doing this dash attack, and Nana was still running this way. And now they're just completely split. Like, they can't control Nana or anything like that from this point. So, like, then, you know, you're here, and then maybe you can just do something like you come down and you shine Nana, you know? Or you shine Popo. And then the shine separates them for so long that, like, especially if you get, like... this type of thing where, like, you know, they're really desynced in like a weird way, and then you can split them up, and then it's time to just murder Nana.
Right.
If you got Nana, sometimes, you know, time to murder Popo if you got Popo. But that's like
So
essentially
like.
Hmm?
Sorry, go ahead.
That's just essentially how the laser works. Like, it's kind of designed as like they can't really get in. Like, wave dash characters in general have like a really hard time wave dashing in on Falco's lasers just because of like how they work. So like they're just gonna have a really hard time getting in general, and while they try to get in, they're gonna get kind of messed over / desynced by the lasers. And then if you start moving around on the platforms too, then like it increases the odds that they jump up and try to hit you, and Nana isn't synced up or something, or she's disconnected, you know, off to the side, and then now Popo's in the air while Nana's on the ground, and now that's a situation that you're going to kind of thrive in because they're not, like, synced up and comfortable and ready to do, like, some sort of tricky option on the ground.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm kind of currently thinking of it as, like, I shot my 2 lasers, it's time to, like, short hop nair at them every time or something.
Yeah, no, they love that, because then they go,
Yeah.
oh, I just take 2 lasers, and then I wave dash back grab.
Right, exactly. Or, like, they'll F-smash and, like, I don't know, maybe I hit Popo, but it still comes out for Nana or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or like a blizzard gets out, something like that.
Yeah,
but...
if you can, the ideal way would be to, like, get them reaching for you and disconnected and stuff, and then you just sort of snipe a shine, and then you just end their life out of the shine. That's like that's like the ideal world where, like, everything goes our way. Is just like you jump, and then maybe they jump up to get you, and you're like, oh, shine. And then you're like, okay, comboing Popo, whatever. Nana gets in the way, so you hit Popo away, and you're just like, alright, Nana dead. Or maybe not Nana dead, maybe you just finish it off on Popo. And then Nana will run to the edge here, and you get, like, forward smash, or you get down air, and then you just, like, edge guard Popo normally.
I gotcha.
That's like that's like the normal road that I would like go for, pretty much.
Right, okay. Yeah, I think my two current modes are either that just like a couple lasers, you know, approach kind of obviously, or I just stand there and laser a bunch of times and eventually they
get
fight their
you.
way through and maybe
Yeah.
they get to a range where like they can wave dash down smash like the startup of my next laser or something.
And don't get me wrong, I think that like the laser nair type thing is actually pretty good. If you can like probably the best tell is just to say if you can get them shielding. Like if they're already shielding, then getting something like this is pretty good. Mostly because they can't really move during the shield. Because the problem with them doing like the normal shielding, and there's a bunch of problems with it, but like the biggest problem is that like if I do something like this, they can get something like this. So if you watch what happens, I think I'm gonna hit like both shields at once and get like the the normal timing, but because they dashed back here, I hit Popo's shield and then Nana's shield, so it's double shield lag before I hit the ground, and so I think it double hit lags here. Yeah, it does. So you see how it hit lags twice.
Yeah.
1, 2, and that creates a situation where you're probably gonna miss your L cancel, or maybe like you hit Popo's shield and not Nana's, and she's grabbing immediately and stuff like that. So you can basically get grabbed out of these in like a lot of spots. But if they're both like already shielding, like if they're both already shielding, then like you can kind of guarantee that they're already both in the same spot for your attack to hit them.
Okay.
So you just don't want them to be like able to dash and stuff like that, because it lets them set up these weird multi-double hit on Nana Popo things.
Yeah.
And so that's why
Like,
most of the time the main plan is to get the laser desync move around like Shine type of deal, but then like it just sort of, obviously, like, they're not gonna just give you the easiest, best thing every time. Sometimes they do. Sometimes I just win off that for 4 stocks in a row with, like, moving around and getting a shine. But, like, sometimes I feel like maybe they, while I'm lasering them to try to, like, separate them, they'll just do something like take laser, and then they walk, and then they'll, like, try to power shield lasers or try to, like, shield and just kind of wait for me to attack in. Then I'm a little bit more likely to maybe try to like pressure with something like that as their shield starts to get smaller and everything. I'm not sure if you know that like also Falco has like a thing where like what's the easiest way to test it? I think I could just go to shield grab. Oops. And then turn off this and save this. Does that work? Okay. Yeah, so check this out. So if I do actually let's do, look at this. So this is a frame perfect grab, but I can jump out. Like Falco's short hop goes over their frame perfect grab.
Oh wow, okay.
So you can actually do stuff like if you land like this like nair, like pretend I land like a nair here. I guess I can do it because of I can just set this to counter after 2 hits. So yeah, okay. So look at that. Like I'm getting Nana here and then jumping over the Popo attack, and so you'll end up with this a lot where you get like boom, boom, and then you just get like a huge thing off of it because they literally like cannot grab you out of the shine as long as you're like quick like that.
Okay.
And so it's like, dude, that's so broken.
Yeah, that seems really good.
It's so broken. So there's just a million times where I land on their shield, and then I just boom, and then boom, 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 boom. Yeah, stock is mine. Like literally, I just start spamming buttons and stuff at that point. It's kind of broken.
Okay, I'll have to practice that for sure. It also it isn't like the latest, not the latest, but like a super late nair. Isn't that like the same L cancel timing even if you hit both shields? Or am I spreading misinformation on the internet?
No. Okay, yeah, because if you watch my Breaking the Ice Climbers, I think episode 4, something like that, about the L cancel timing, I did like a breakdown of this, and it's that like it's the same if you hit both of the shields, like if I'm right here and I hit both of these shields on the same frame, it's the same as if I'm hitting one shield.
Oh, I gotcha.
The problem is only when you hit one shield, and because like if you hit like L or whatever during your hit lag, it like slides to the end. Like it just assumes that you hit it at the end of the hit lag, so it kind of gives you like an additional window. But like basically like if you if it slides to the end of the window, but then instead of hitting the ground, you enter hit lag again, like it won't keep sliding. Those are just additional frames, so you're gonna end up missing the L cancel window. You can like double tap it and stuff like that. Like there's ways around this. This is just like a common, like it'll mess up your timing either way, even if you hit the L cancel.
I gotcha.
Because you're not gonna be able to like. There's probably some psycho world where you could like, oh, I do an option select where I shine on the frame where it would work if they single hit, and then also if it double hits, I press L cancel and shine again there, but like, I'm not a superhuman, so.
Yeah. That seems complex. Cool. I had a couple other questions for laser before we kind of move on to the next category. Is there any like...
Yeah, these are good questions.
Okay, yeah, so I feel like a common thing that happens, and this is when I'm in like spam laser in place mode, is they'll start getting out ice blocks somehow, and I didn't know if that was like me shooting a laser height or something, that there's a gap for them to do that, or if that's just something that can happen.
Okay, so let me see if I can set up what you're talking about here. Okay, so let's see. Boom. Save. Okay. Oh, I need to make them not shield.
Or maybe if it was because of there's like a gap in my laser timings.
No, I doubt that. I'm like most likely they can just literally like get out like something like that. Like
yeah, that seems kind of common.
Like they can definitely just take. They can buffer it too. Like I can take the laser and just hold B. Although Nana, it looks like Nana kind of like. Yeah, I can just do that.
Okay.
And it's not really like a problem for Ices to like take laser and throw the ice block here.
Yeah. And like I know I can short hop over if the blocks are like right next to each other, but if they're like slightly, spaced.
Kind
of maybe I just full hop away from them or shield them.
Yeah, like a lot of times like it's like they so if they do something like this, like I'm not gonna get in on you out of this. Like if I do like the ice block, I can't, like I still can't get in. I'm like, ice block, here I come. I'm like wave dashing at you like
Yeah.
There's no way to get in past the lasers, even if my ice blocks can get past the lasers. Like there's no way for me to actually get in here.
Right, okay.
I might be able to like, I don't know, like do some insanity. Like I don't know. No, I still can't get in. I still literally cannot get in there.
Right.
Like, no matter how hard I try, I'm not going to get in past them. So like the ice block is like, they can kind of disrupt your laser. Like this prevents them from getting just lasered literally forever in place. But like you can like, okay, so like let's say they take laser and they do this, you can just short hop laser over this one like completely. Like you can just like look, this even happens like literally in the like on accident.
Yeah.
Like it's just like you can just literally like jump over the thing, and then like you don't really have to deal with it. You can also like jab it.
Okay.
That'll just like delete it kind of, or do like an aerial in place to kind of get rid of it. The jab is like pretty, like okay. So let's do. Okay, so right here, and then okay. Let's just have them do. Let's see. Okay, and then I'll do this. So you can't get both, but if there's one, it's like that. Like it basically is like it's like almost nothing. Like let me, yeah, like that. And if they do something like the double one, then like it's just not hard to, let me see. Like, look at this little tiny ice block on the ground. Like, it's so easy for me to just jump over the ice blocks.
Right.
Like, Falco's short hop goes really high, especially if you laser. Like, he stays up really high over everything. Like, laser makes it insanely easy to, like, jump over projectiles and stuff like that.
Yeah, this seems like the type of thing if I save state for like 30 minutes, I won't be as scared of it.
Yeah, so it's like, and then like you can also like just like straight up like hit through them. Like in like some world you can like shine them back. I probably wouldn't recommend that, but like I don't know, if I'm here and I'm doing this and then they're like throwing these blocks, I'm just like, all right, you're like immobile.
Sure,
like honestly,
sure.
there's a lot of situations where I'll get something like this, where I just do this and then okay, so let me show you this. So let me turn this off and then do restore, and then I'll do okay. So I do that. And so watch what they do is they take laser and then they do this ice block and then okay. Oops, didn't work. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Okay. Like, but basically, it's hard to show it. This is probably the best way. Like, essentially, you get this, where you're like, yeah! Like, they just have big lag. Like, if they do ice block and you happen to not laser, there's, like, a really big lag. And so as long as you're kind of mixing in, like, the platform movement and full hops and stuff like that, it's kind of like another... it's almost like Chic Grounded Needle type vibe, where you can kind of, like but like way worse, where you can like laser and then full hop over her, and if she is dumb enough to throw her full stack of needles, then you can just come down and hit her. It's basically like that. And keep in mind, most of the time, if I'm in a situation, what in the world? If I'm in a situation like maybe like this, don't come down in these situations with the aerial. These are the situations where you do this.
Oh, okay.
You drop shine. Anytime there's like any sort of chaos or you're not really sure, you just want to shine double jump away because so it's in my second Breaking the Ice Climbers video on like Nana AI, but basically if if either of them is in the air from a hit, they cannot reconnect until they're on the ground and close momentum and like next to each other. So Falco's shine, if we're in a situation like this, and I'm on FD, and so they're like connected and synced and everything right now, right? If I do this, okay, wait, now they're synced up.
Oh, okay, yep.
Like after all that, and so it's like, what if they have a little %, and then right here, and I kind of get like, okay, they're disconnected. Like, for this whole time. Or what if I do this? Watch how long I can get them disconnected off of this. Or, wait a second. Right. Alright, still not connected. Still not connected. Now they're connected. You see Nana, like, out of her, like, run break or whatever, like, connecting to Popo. It's literally, like, that is how long that they're desync. Like, they're still not connected. They can't control Nana, and then just, boom, forward smash.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So the shine is like the ultimate anti-Ices move, just because it makes them unable to do things for so long.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I just had a couple more questions on lasers. So this is like a matchup where like I want to be lasering consecutively as opposed to like laser dash dancing, right?
Yeah, I'm way more. It's not about lasering consecutively. It's like laser plus vertical.
Okay, sure.
So like on like let's say on like FD, right? Like I'm here, I will go like and then like go in, or I'll go like something like that, you know, like I'm not just gonna be doing like this, like a versus like Fox or something. Like I don't play like this ever. And I'm never gonna be doing like, alright, make it happen, Ices. I'm always gonna be doing something like, like, and then like you like I said, you kind of just want to like create situations where they have to like move and deal with you and deal with your lasers, and like just kind of keeping them together and functional while you're moving around and jumping and shooting lasers is almost impossible.
Okay, gotcha. So like, what are you kind of scouting for when you do that like full hop? Let's say we're still on like FD.
Okay, so yeah, that's a good question. I'm kind of scouting for like if I full hop here, I'm mostly looking like, okay, did they wave dash in under me? Like what does it look like they're looking for? It's just really nice because you can basically do a thing where you're like, hey, if you wave dash in to punish this laser, like if you're doing this laser, right? And they wave dash in to punish this laser, then I do boom, and they're just dead, or boom, like full off, trying this. So it's like if they come in to get me for this, they're gonna die to this. If they try to hit this, they're gonna die to this. If they try to hit both, they're gonna die to this, or this. And then if they try to get all of those, then I'm gonna do this, and then go like I'm gonna just jump away and do like a laser. Like let's say I do this, and then they wave dash immediately under me right here, and I go and then I jump away like this. They're not gonna be able to like. Because look, it happens again, like, oh, I'm going to go back for the laser, and they're like, oh, so we'll wave dash under shield, and then wave dash in and hit you. And so you're like, okay, boom, I'll just downer you there, like, instead this time. So it's kind of like, it's like a mix-up type of situation. It's not, like, perfectly winning for Falco or something. But, like, they have to commit pretty heavily to the wave dashes, and any read they make to ever get you for, like, full hop lasering just gets obliterated by aerial and shine and stuff like that. And they have to do... Essentially, it's a situation where they have to make a hard read, and every time they make their hard read, it's like a pretty heavy commitment.
Okay.
And so, you like even when they guess right, sometimes I do this, and they come in, they guess it perfectly right with like they wave dash in and forward smash, and like my downer will just kind of beat it anyway sometimes.
Right. Okay. So like if they don't commit and they play further back, you can just kind of safely fade back. Like,
you just laser again, yeah, and like. And then, like, I don't know, like, if they're literally just gonna, like, sit here, like, shield, wave dash, shield, wave dash, or something like that, I'm definitely gonna keep doing this. Like, alright, thanks. Like, if they're not gonna do anything, I'm not gonna do anything. And if I'm doing this, and they want to do something, they need to really do something. Like, they can't get in between these. They need to, like, really set up, like, a boing, 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 to get over and actually get in.
Right.
Like, it takes a while.
And then they're, like, disconnected and kind of far apart.
Right, and, like, but, yeah, and it's like, so it's like, if they're just sitting there, it's really obvious that you can just keep hitting them. And as long as you don't, like, you know, as long as you're not doing this garbage from, like, far away, like, you're kind of doing this, like, that's useless against them. Like,
right.
There's no reason to just not keep doing this. They can't approach from the air. They're not going to jump. They're not going to dash. All they're going to do is literally wave dash in over and over to try to get to you. And if they want to do that, that's fine.
Yeah, I think I need to add, like, the vertical game to what I'm currently doing.
Dude, yeah, this is so good, too. If you're going to... I just wanted to mention, if you're going to do, like, those double laser things, like double laser approach, and, like, they're in a spot where they're not shielding, they're almost always going to set up a thing that will beat that nair, right? Because, like, that's the thing you're afraid of, is if you do this, that they were, like, really, really ready for that nair. And so that's why you just do, like, this. Boom.
Oh, okay. Sure,
and they're just like, like, I totally thought he was gonna nair me. And, like, especially if there's platforms and stuff, you can kind of get, like, this. Like, they'll try to, like, you get, like, and then you can, like, land, like, behind them and stuff like that, like, or there's just, like, a lot of situations, or if there's a platform, then you can get, like, and this is, like, a really common one where they're here, and I get something like, something like this, and you get, like, laser, so I pretend I do, like, laser, right, and I go, boom, or something like that, or, like, and then you can just, like, do a ton of pressure, like, laser, like this, boom, like that type of thing. Like, those are really, really good, because if one of those just happens to tap them, they're, like, disconnected, and, like, they have no chance for, like, 10 seconds. And so combined with the lasers and the movement, and like you're doing all this, and like the platforms make it even easier to do like these like down air slash like laser slash like, oh, I double jumped away like thing. And then, like, you can just end up in a situation where, like, there's no way you guys are going to be synced up and ready for these, like, shines that I'm about to drop on you.
Right.
One thing.
So are you kind of doing like the same thing with the platforms as like the concept we talked about on FD, where like if they're kind of far away, you like drop through laser?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
like...
saying. Yeah, it's the same exact concept where I'm here, except these are even better than full hopping.
Sure.
The other thing that I wanted to mention is they like 80% of the time or more. Okay, so a lot of people, this is like a big one. A lot of people have an issue when they're platform camping ice climbers, that they go up here and they're like, all right, and the ice climbers is going like boing, 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 right? And you're here and you're like, yeah, wah. And they just eventually, they're just like boing, 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 and they full hop up at you, right? Like, and that's because you're basically, you're moving around. They can't hit you if you just stand here like an idiot.
Okay.
If you move,
I feel like I get up there.
If you move like this, then they go boing boing read right here, you know. But if you just stand here and you're like, what are you gonna do? Then like, what are they gonna do? All they know they know where you are, and you're already defended. So when they go full like boing full hop up air, you just like just shield drop, easy peasy. Like no problem. Like if I'm here, I just end up doing like, like they do something like that, right? And I'm just like here, and I'm just like,
Okay,
there you go. Pretty easy. Like once I'm already just chilling up here. But if I'm like doing this, then oh no, like you know, like if I'm going crazy moving around, then they can read me, and suddenly they've got me.
Okay.
So
sure.
It's like don't move around too much, and especially don't go for like cross ups. Like if I'm this isn't like the best stage for it, and it applies to Fox a little bit more than Falco, but it definitely applies to both of them. Where it's like basically if I'm like here and they're like here, don't like directly try to move through like this space, like this.
Okay.
Space. Because they're gonna like that's where the up air hits. Like the up air only gets you when you cross over their head. And so as long as you kind of zone them out on one side, like if I'm here and I go out instead of in. So the one thing I kind of talk about is the outer edge of the side plat is just really difficult for them to reach in general. The only move they have that hits this position is wave dash back, full hop back air. And it's like a pretty heavy read to hit the wave dash back, full hop back air in this position. And so if I'm like here, and I'm afraid of them doing something, and I can just do this, and they're never ever gonna hit me, and I can just go like, like literally, like you can do that because they don't want to overcommit to the edge because they get gimped, and this has like been like a thing with like Ices in a lot of matchups. Is like if Falco's here and you try to grab him or you try to hit him, and he just does this, and then just boom, 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 like that, you know, like you're just dead immediately, and it's kind of similar here. They don't want to do. Like this. They don't want to do this because if I don't jump into it, they're super duper crazy Omega dead. Like they're just super dead if they make this misread. So they don't want to make the read here. They want to maintain their strong central position and do something like they and then grab or something like that. So they want you to go oh no, or you know like oh no they caught me, and then they get you, haha, like that. That's what they want. That's what they live for.
Okay, yeah.
So they don't want to go to the corner. You let them stay in the center. Like they're gonna try to like, can I get you without leaving my comfortable position? And you're like, no, you just missed me. Like you're dumb. Now die.
I gotcha. So are you more reading that they're gonna kind of short hop up air like the inside of the platform more than like reacting? Because I feel like it comes out pretty quick.
It's so you can there are a lot of spots where you can like create like an up air vacuum where you're like up air here, and if they do, you can react that they did it. But you can't like just play and then if they ever up air, you're like destroyed, you know?
Yeah.
It's more like I'm just like when I'm in a location like this, I just feel extremely like you're not gonna get me, because if you try to get me here, I'm gonna just go here, And so you can't get me here because I'll go here, and you don't want to even try to attack me over here, and so therefore you're not going to try anything, are you? And they're like, no. And I'm like, that's right. And then I drop with the lasers,
Okay.
and then I'm like, now I'm back up here. Like, they're like, you know what? We're going to come in and get you. Okay. And then it's like, did you want to attack that inner edge of the platform? Like, I'm over here on the outer edge just chilling. Like, wait.
Okay, yeah, I think I just like assume that their default is going to be that up air, and then do that shield drop shine, and
yeah, just recognize like the up air
too.
is really bad against shield drop shine and like the move back sort of counter, and if you full hop away, they're also not able to get you. But just keep in mind that if you full hop like this, even though you're like 99% safe, they can kind of get you. Just recognize that. Just don't get antsy. Like, that's the thing. You can basically move like this, and they're not gonna get you. Like, if you're up here and you're just like, like, you just do this, like, they're not gonna read that and they're not gonna get you. But if you make it like part of your game plan, that like, I do this, and then I do this, and then I do this, like, then they're gonna start getting you for it. But if you just play it like, nah, I'm actually really safe, and you have to like completely get me out of here, like, they can't.
I gotcha. Cool. No, that was definitely one of my questions I had, because I get hit by so many short hop up airs, and I never punish them, so they never stop doing them. So
yeah, it
cool.
works on stuff like the top plat too, where like they'll get something like whatever. So they'll get something like this, or like not even like that. They get like that. There's just like a lot of spots where I don't know, like they can kind of do something like this, and you get like this, and then you can kind of just like get down before them or like get underneath them for missing. Like if they didn't get you, this happens like a lot where they just get sort of stuck above you by overcommitting, and it lets you get like a shine and stuff like that. The only thing you have to worry about is they do like up air, down air. Like they do the down air immediately. But if they do the down air immediately, you just CC it and shine. Like just hold down the down air, and you'll always get. This is like one of my favorite things to do. Is just that you always get Popo out of this. Is like he does that, and then I'm here, and then I'm like, oh, they went up, and then like, oh, well, you're not gonna get it depending on like, especially if there's two of them, you're not gonna get the CC shine, but you'll get it if it's just Popo. And a lot of times they drift into you. And, like, that's really the relevant spot. Like, I can get it there if I'm, like, holding in or whatever, but, like, both hits is, like, it's a little rough to get hit by both down airs. Most of the time I would just, like, avoid that and do something like that, or, like, something like that. But
if it's just Popo, does it last for a while, in terms of, like, your percent?
I think it's, like, set knockback. Like, I think it just always works. Like, I've never... I just kind of here he comes with the down air. I kind of bait him, too. Like, I'm like, I don't know, man. Looks like the only way out is the down air. And they down air, and I'm like, oh, CC shine, baby. But, let's see. I was just saying, like, basically, when you get really good at kind of punishing them for, like, overcommitting, like you go up, and then they go up, and then you get some sort of... See, they can kind of get, like, the down airs out somewhat quickly. So that's what I was saying. It's, like... Unless I'm kind of, like, ready for the up air, like, if I'm here and I'm ready for it, then maybe there's, like, a chance I can kind of get it like that. But if I'm not ready, I'm not going to immediately just, like, oh, there's an up air, I can always punish that. You know, I'm way more likely to be here and kind of get, like, a... Like, the lasers mess them up when they're landing, too, like, big time, so I'll get, like, that, and then, like, oh, something like that, or, like, boom, and then that. Like, there's no way they're gonna... Like, what are they supposed to do to this? Like, there was no way to grab me during that. There was no way to forward air me. There was... None of their aerials would have worked during this at all. And they were, like, not even synced up during it after, like, the laser hit. So it's, like, those situations are just really strong. And basically, it ends up with them feeling like they can't attack you on the platform. And then, if you're moving around on the platforms and they try to hit you, you also might, like, sneak past them and get below them and shine them. And then, you know, when they're on the ground with you, they just get lasered. And like, what's left?
You're not necessarily up there to, like, look for openings. You're not necessarily up there to come and directly attack them. You're kind of looking for, like, opportunities where they might,
oh,
like,
wait, yeah. No, let's talk. I'm not trying to get them.
Okay.
I'm trying to like ruin their like routine. Like I'm just trying to take them out of like their element and ruin like the sync. Cuz that's like this character is that like they're synced up and that there's two of them, both controlled by the player. And that's like the main problem you have to solve in this matchup with every character, is like they can control both ice climbers. And so like, how do I prevent that from happening? And that's like the main first problem to solve. So like, hey, if we move around with the platforms and we use the lasers, that solves that first problem of them being able to control both ice climbers. And so if they can no longer control both ice climbers, then I'm just playing like a battle of, can I shark Popo or fight Popo while dealing with CPU Nana?
Okay.
And those are sort of like the two stages of the matchup of like, make sure they can't control both of them, and now just, either, hard combo Nana's CPU or combo Popo and then like abuse Nana's CPU. Like, I love just comboing Popo and then Nana comes to save him and I just shine her really quick and get back to comboing Popo.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So like step one in neutral is, start some chaos.
Yes, literally that's how I think of it every time. I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna like do stuff safely until there's mad chaos.
Right,
and
right.
It's like very villainous matchup.
Okay, I gotta think of it like that.
Like you're kind of derail what they're doing, and once they no longer have control of Nana, like Popo Falco is 1090 or something, but probably worse.
Yeah. Is there anything like specific about top plat that you like, how you use top plats differently than like side plats, or are you mainly just like using the map to kind of scout for openings?
No, top plat. The big danger of top plat is being predictable with you going to side plat. It's the same thing as the side plat with like, just stay kind of comfortable. And like, the thing is, you're not gonna get anything out of the top plat, honestly. Like when they full hop up air you or something and you're on the top plat, like you're not. Let me just move myself over here. So oops. So I'm here, and then I do this, and then be like that. Like, I'm not punishing that. Like,
right.
there's no way I can punish that. They're like literally right there. Like, I can do this actually. I can like do the short hop over. But even then, like, like if I was here and they did this, I would just go like that. Like I would just go, oh, thanks.
Gotcha.
Like that.
So
Like,
I mean, is it kind of like,
I'm not
kind of
gonna
like Pete's where you like use it defensively, like you might just full hop to it or something, and then kind of reset from there.
Yeah, like you kind of end up there, and you're like, oh, I'm in like the safe zone. I need to get back to like the active zone, which is like the platforms in the ground and stuff, like the side plats in the ground. And stuff like that. The top plat is very much like a waiting room. It's kind of just like,
sure.
You're just here for a second. Like, they're not. If they try something on you, like I said, if they try coming up big time here, and then you just happen to come down at the same moment, they're suddenly like trapped. They can get trapped in the air, or like not even necessarily just the air, just kind of like a negative position. Yeah, like I get this sometimes, and it's like, oh, now that I lasered Nana, like now this whole time right here, like this is, they don't have control of Nana, 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 and now they have control of Nana.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like, even like those little, like, oh, I got a laser while they were kind of moving around, it's like, dude, that whole time they can't control Nana. So it's like, if they try to wave dash in and attack you during this whole period where like Popo was on the ground but Nana got delayed with the laser, now Popo is flying across the stage and Nana's still over here. So as long as you don't get hit by his crazy across the stage attack, now you have Nana and Popo completely across the stage from each other, and you can kind of do whatever you want.
I gotcha. No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think I've been playing a lot of neutral with them synced up, and they hit really hard off of that. But I once I start like actively looking for Nana being desynced, and then picking a climber to kind of isolate, I think that'll help a lot.
Okay, yeah. So just to clarify, there's three different states. There's like connected. Well, okay. So when you're connected, you can be either synced or desynced. Are you like aware of this distinction?
A bit. I did rewatch your Breaking Ices
Yeah.
series recently, but I think the second
Okay.
video,
Yes.
I have to rewatch just
Yeah.
to like
So basically, it's
understand
that
it more.
like you can when they're synced, it means that Nana executes all the things that Popo executes 6 frames later or whatever. Like how they are now. Like this is a synced up air because Nana just does everything Popo does 6 frames later. But
Okay.
you know, there's those spots where they're doing like forward smash, forward smash, forward smash, right? Like they're like desynced forward smashing. Um, or like a blizzard, you know, like Nana does the blizzard and Popo does something else.
Yeah.
They're desynced in the sense that they're not doing the same move, so they're not synced up, but they still have control of Nana, even though
Okay.
she's like in a different action state than Popo, and this lets them do like all of, like the crazy stuff where it's like so it's like oh I'm supposed to be controlling CPU, there we go. So it's like if they get like what's that dash dance thing? I'm so bad at it. But like if they do this, like this is a desync. I can still control both climbers here. Like I have full control of both climbers, even though they're not like synced. Like they're not doing like the same move every time.
Right, right.
And so that's different from being disconnected. Whereas like if they get shine or like this, like let's see. Let's try to get like Nana doing something like that, and then I'll. Yeah, so she's chasing me right now. She's like the CPU. When she gets there, we go. See, she's chasing me. She's a CPU right now. So this is disconnected, where like I don't have any control over her. She's just like completely CPU mode. And then now it's like, oh, now we're connected again, and now we're like desynced but still connected.
Okay. Yeah, I have to look for them like chasing me around the stage and like realizing.
And so the idea is that laser doesn't. Okay, so laser does cause a disconnection, but most of the time, if they're both on the ground, the laser disconnects them for like the amount of laser stun, and then like you know they're kind of back like right away. They're like connected again, even though they're probably going to be desynced. So it's sort of like when they're desynced, you know, there's a chance that Nana's forward smashing while Popo's wave dashing, and that can put them far enough away to disconnect them. So it's sort of like the lasers and the movement a lot of times create a desync where they can still control Nana, and then the desync leads into the disconnect, or it leads into a situation where you can get an opening which will separate them big time and cause like a big disconnect.
Okay, I gotcha.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to like clarify the difference there is that you can look at it as like, well, they're synced up, so I'm going to use these lasers to desync them. And now that they're desynced, I can move around, and if they try to chase me, they'll probably disconnect themselves.
Right. No, I gotcha. Cool. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking over some of the other questions I had. I feel like as far as like offense, you kind of ran through a lot of like your favorite ways to attack them. I did see when I was watching like you versus Slug, you did like a lot of like laser down tilt. Is that just like relatively safe because their traction kind of moves them away, or?
Yeah, you can kind of do like laser down tilt and like laser F tilt, and they're both kind of unpunishable.
Okay.
On their shield. Um, it's it's more of like an anti-Popo thing in my opinion, just because I feel like there's too much chaos with like Nana.
Okay.
It's like you know how you use like laser down tilt against like Puff or something, where you get like the laser down tilt and she shields the laser and tries to shield grab because she thinks you aerialed. Like she thinks you're
Sure.
gonna do aerial shine, and so you do air, and so she's aerial, and she's like, "Aha! Grab before the shine." But what you actually did was like the laser, and then so she tries to grab the aerial that she thought was coming, and she grabs right into like your earlier down tilt. So the down tilt
Okay.
just hits her out of the grab. It's the same thing with Popo, where like Popo is one of his only tools against Falco is to like shield grab. That's like one of the only things he really has. So sometimes you can like if Popo is this is especially when he's at kill percent, you can set up positions where you're like, okay, I'm going to it looks like a juicy aerial spot where it's like a spot where they really want you to aerial their shield so they can shield grab. But then like instead you do approaching laser down tilt, and it's kind of like if they tried to shield grab the aerial, then they get killed because they took, they shield the laser and they tried to grab, and the down tilt hits them out of their grab. And but let's say they didn't try to shield the aerial, or they didn't try to grab the aerial, and they just hold shield, and they get like laser down tilted on their shield. They can't actually like grab you or anything. They got pushed too far. So it's like if they tried to punish you, they get down tilted and die. And if they didn't try to punish you, their shield is smaller and you're safe.
I got.
So that's like like pretty broken. The hard part is like lasering at the exact range, because if you like laser too deeply into them, then like if I'm here, save position, record, and I do like this or something like that, and then they're here and they just like this is like right on top of them. What in the world? How is this not happy? Yeah, there we go. Like that, like they can get you if it's like too far, or like the spacing isn't perfect. But if I'm like, and so most of the time when you're in neutral, it's a little gambly. It's not gambly, but it's like once you've established a certain type of neutral against Popo, you can just be like, here comes the bad down air, and then you're just like, nah, just kidding. And so, but like essentially, if I do this one where I go like this. If they're here and they shield, they can't grab anyway because when they're in this position, like even so even Fat Goku is playing Slay the Spire. Okay, but yeah, like even if they try to grab here before the laser comes out, or sorry, before the down tilt comes out, I'm like too far for their grab to get me in time. That's like essentially it. And so, like I said, against both of them, I'm a little like, eh. And, like, Ginger is a really big proponent of, like, the laser F-tilt, where you just kind of, like, I don't know if he is necessarily anymore, but this is where I kind of got it from, was, like, that he's just been telling everybody that he can just kind of do, like this, and they can't get you. And I think if you're ever in a situation where... You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I don't think laser forward tilt's that good.
Okay.
And it's mostly just because there's a lot of ways you can slightly like if you're doing it right every time, it's kind of unbeatable. But I just don't like how like it doesn't like do that much. Maybe if Popo's at like 130, laser F tilt's pretty nice because you'll just hit him off the stage with almost no risk. It's kind of like the down tilt with like less whiff punishability, like it's quicker. But I prefer the down tilt most of the time if I'm going to do that mix-up, and most of the time you don't even really need this mix-up too much. Against Popo, you can just play it like Luigi, where you're doing like laser fade back down airs and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, and for like Sopo specifically, like I think I play it pretty safely, and I don't have like too much trouble, but is there just like I feel like I've heard either you or like Ginger say like there's just like 100-0 way that Falco can play against Sopo.
Ginger... probably talking about the forward tilt thing, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, essentially, it's just like, what if Luigi was 2 tiers lower, or something? Okay. It's like, right. Dude, like it's awful. Like, so it's just kind of like if I'm doing this and I have this thing I call the Infinity Tool, which is just literally you dash forward and then you backflip and you down air, and like, what's he gonna do to that? What's he gonna do? He's not gonna do anything. And so like I just do this, and then so you can kind of just do this thing, and then there's just a lot of spots where like they have to shield because they're gonna look for the shield grab, and if you just do like the late aerial shine jump out so they can't shield grab because you'll go over the shield grab.
Yeah.
And then you combine that with like the safe lasering, and then once you get him in the air, like you can just get like this grab, and then it's like, dude, like if you get an up throw on just Sopo, it's so over for him. Like he's not gonna get down, he's gonna get lasered, he's gonna get like all kinds of things. That matchup is just very naturally kind of unwinnable for Popo. Way better than Fox Popo. Fox Popo is like actually kind of like tricky.
Okay.
Just because it's kind of like Luigi, whereas like Luigi can kind of make reads on Fox, or he just can't make reads on Falco.
Yeah, sure.
So as Fox, you end up kind of full hop camping Popo. As Falco, you can camp Popo, but I don't like it as much. The full hop is like Falco's full hop is like a little too reactable, so Popo can kind of line up underneath you and try to get you with up airs and stuff like that. If you're just full hopping around. See, because like when you're just full hopping around and they have both climbers, they're kind of afraid to jump up and get you, because if they mess up, you're just gonna kill Nana and end everything, and they're just gonna be disconnected for like 20 seconds. But when it's just Popo, he's a little bit more like aggro with lining up those up airs and stuff. So I don't really like the full hop strategy quite as much against Popo.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. In general, like, would you prefer to be on the ground or like the platform? Like, are you just going to the platform sometimes quickly to see what they do, and like you'd prefer to be on the ground, or like?
No, so like, if I don't know.
It's a very abstract question.
I don't know.
It's probably like so situational.
No, it's just that I just don't know.
Okay.
like I don't know. Like if you're on the ground, it's a bit more like active and like fighty. Like stuff is kind of going on, and so like you're sort of like in the fray, like in the mix-ups a little bit harder. Like you have to like use your observational skills a little bit more. Like, a lot more can go wrong when you're on the ground, basically. Like, you have more that you can accomplish. You're not really just trying to bait them, but you're also, like, in a little bit more danger. The thing is, if you do everything right, you're not actually in any danger. So, like, that's why I'm saying is, like, maybe being on the ground all the time is just the best thing. I don't know. But for me, I kind of, like, sit on the platforms like, are you going to give it to me? Are you going to give it to me? And they're like, no, I'm not going to give it to you. And I'm like, okay, I'll come down and shoot a couple lasers. I'm back in the platform. Did you give it to me? They're like, no, I didn't give it to you. Okay, I'm going to shoot a couple more. Like,
is it kind of like when you're like fighting Fox and you're just dash dancing on side plat and you're just like, please nair my shield so I can shield drop shine you?
Kind of, yeah. Except they're like worse.
Sure. Right.
But yeah, like, both the platform and the ground are such strong positions that I do not know, like, what is the correct way. I don't know, like, what the correct balance is. When I'm afraid, I hide on the perfectly safe platform, and when I feel not afraid, I'm gonna laser them.
Yeah. I think I get a little scared on the side plat, and then I get caught in transition.
Yeah, that's happened to everybody. You get anxious, and you move, and then they catch you moving. But if you just stay there, they can't actually get you.
Right. And either, like, dash to, like, the side closer to ledge, or just like be ready to shield up air,
or just in the worst case you can you can full hop and like abuse this ambiguity, like of like this versus like the side plat here versus the top plat versus like drift back type thing. You can, but like that almost okay, essentially I don't want you to get antsy, and the full hop is like the antsy option.
Yeah.
And so like, but I also want to emphasize that as long as you're not antsy, like if you're comfy up here, the full hop is like unpunishable. The full hop is only punishable when they're like, yeah, every time he lands, he just jumps again. So that's what I'm trying to get across. The full hop's still really good. It's just, you just don't want to be antsy. That's the real enemy, not the full hop.
Right. No, I definitely am, because I'm like, should I be up here? Should I be trying to get down?
No, definitely. That's the big thing. Just stand there.
I'm like, why am I up here?
You know, get a drink, relax. It's fine.
Sure. Okay, no, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like I have a bunch of like miscellaneous questions.
Perfect.
Like good options when they're coming down from like invincibility. Is there anything like?
Yeah. No, there's guaranteed options.
Okay, great.
So, well, there's a couple. It depends on a lot of factors. I think not a lot of factors. Essentially, I stand here. And if they're here and they drop through the platform, I go here. Kind of like Fox.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Falco has two ways to avoid them. And that's why I was like, eh. So basically, if they come down and I'm here, and then... okay. So... let's say this is where it's... Oop. Oh, man. Okay. I thought I was on no record. Okay. Okay. So... Alright. So the options from this position are like... I can do something like this, right? Or they kind of come down, they drop through, and then they attack you. And so if they're doing like their drop through attack, I just wait for them to drop through, and then I just swap places. I just go, oh, okay, up here. And then if they do something where they're like they do like this or something like that, and I'm here, then I'm just gonna be like, oops, what the, and put it, that's my bad. Okay, like something like that, and then I'll just be here, and then they went this way, and I just roll here. So it's like if they fall through, I just go up to the other side plat, and then if they wave land off, I just go to the other side of the stage. There's also like a thing I use as Fox, which is a little bit easier, which is just, so first of all, you find the way they're facing. You don't want to be on the backside. You can be, but like obviously their back air is stronger on the backside. So if you stand on their front side, they would have to like land, turn around, and wave dash off backwards to hit you. And so I just like this. So remember with Falco, you most of the time don't need this, but I just want to emphasize that like there is this extra super safe position, and it's just right here. As Fox, if you watch my old VODs, and it was during the era where I was like learning this, every time they're invincible, I just come back and I just do this on their front facing side. And it's like, is that
just because it's like so committal for them to up air that specific spot?
Well, like how are they going to up air you? How are they going to get to you? At all?
Yeah, I guess they'd have to get to the ground first.
They would have to get all the way to the ground and then get over and then get you. And when they go to the ground, you're like, oh, okay. Or like,
right, okay.
They can't get you. And their only other option is like, they go boing, fall through boing, and if they do that, like, they would need to like turn around first. They have to land, turn around, wave dash out, do this, and then by that point, like, you're just like, like you can just drop through, or you can go like this, something like that. They just don't have like a lot of ways to actually get you there, and it's very like committal and difficult. And there's a lot of stocks that you see in my old Fox VOD where they just come down invincible, and I do this, and they'll just like go down to the ground and reset because they just know they're not going to get me.
Okay, I gotcha.
So like, yeah, they don't really. The only exception to this is two exceptions. This stage, when they come back invincible, I just first of all always pick their front side. So like whichever way they come down facing, you want to be on that side, and I just stand on the side flat. And if they're falling here, they can't get you from this position at all. Like because they can't wave land off the platform, they have to land, and when they do, they have to go towards you, and you just do this. Or if you don't want to be antsy, you just stay there, and then you just do like this, like wave dash off towards the outside end. FD is pretty similar. FD, I actually am just I just go to the edge like this, and they come down, and they go boing boing, and then I do this.
Okay.
And it's like, sometimes they get you, but every character can sometimes get you on FD. And the amount that they get you is like almost never. And there's actually a lot of times where they come back, and I go like this, and then I just like walk forward or something, and they wave dash in, and I do this, and I jump up like this, and then I'll like drift back, and then I get, this whole like mix up that we talked about earlier, and I'll just open them up at 0 and go, haha, yeah, here we go, boom, and then like that's a whole Ice Climber stock,
Right, sure. Okay, nice.
And we're pretty much at an hour, but if you have a couple more quick questions, we can blast through those.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we covered a lot. I guess the last big ones I was gonna ask is like, when recovering against them, is there anything that they have trouble like specifically dealing with?
They have trouble against like side B from ledge, because most of the time you like click Nana or something.
Okay.
Honestly, don't worry about it too much. Like,
yeah.
When the matchup is played correctly, you're not going to be off stage that much. And if you are, side B will work, or like this up B. Like they're pretty weak against this up B.
Okay.
Because like one of them has to cover ledge, and then like the other one's on stage, and sometimes like you can go in straight and hit them, and maybe Nana's rolling off the edge, and you hit Nana, and the hit lag delays, and sometimes like you go a little high, and they red straight, and then you miss, and Nana rolls from the edge, and you shine her. There's like all these different ways you can kind of hit them and like get away. But my opinion is that if they get you in this position, and the Ice Climbers is like optimal from the future, you're dead. Because I think they can get Nana to the edge perfectly and have Popo cover it, and then Nana comes up and joins like the handoff and stuff. Like I honestly think you're dead here if they're like optimized, but you should just never really be off stage or get hit too often, so it's not a big deal. But I think their edge guard on Falco is crazy because they're like the only character that can like have a character covering side B to ledge and have a character covering like character on stage.
Right.
But most of the time they just miss because they hit you off stage and it's just Popo and Nana's running to, like this happens like they're not this most of the time when they hit you off they're not just like the perfectly synced buddy ice climbers. Like Popo down smashes you while you're trying to kill Nana and she's double jumping back this way and you're off stage and you kind of just want to keep making the chaos. Like, I'm just going to up B in this spot so it's weird for you and Nana, or maybe I hit Nana, or maybe I hit you because you think I'm trying to up B Nana, or there's all kinds of, like, weird little situations.
Okay, cool.
Don't worry about it too much.
If there's, like, any icy specific
when in
thing
doubt, when you're in complete doubt, like, either go to ledge or try to hit them.
Okay, cool.
I hit them way more often than any other character with my up B.
Gotcha. Nice. Cool. And then I guess the last thing, I don't know if this is super quick, but like what's like your combo like bread and butter? Like say you land a shine at them at like low percent. I feel like there's I don't know.
So the main thing you want to get is you want to make sure that they're like big separated and they can't work together well. So like there's just like a lot of spots where like I don't know, just like shine, back air, shine, or like shine. Oops. Like I'll get something like I don't know, like downer shine, and then like Popo's DIing it all weird. There we go. Get something like this, and then you like up tilt, and then like back air or forward smash or whatever. It's honestly any move you want in a row.
Okay.
I think that these are pretty good. Like. Sort of like shine into like back airs and stuff like that. I think if they come up here and they're both like, if Popo is right in the zone for this down air combo, like on a platform or something, like if it's really obvious that I have down air shine combos on Popo, I will go for it. But let's say they get like there, like if it's kind of ambiguous, I'll just do these like back airs. Like they don't have like a way, or I'll do that or whatever. I just kind of hit them like up and like up airs, back airs, more shines, up tilts. When they come down, you can kind of just like fair forward smash and stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
Just I would watch like my VODs against like Army, but like honestly, I'm just mashing buttons. I'm just kind of like, oh, I hit you. I'm just like, oh, I hit you. Nice. Boom, 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 boom. Forward smash Nana, and then like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, they're desync now, and then like literally, this is like how half my stocks go against like Army.
Yeah.
Like once you have the basics down, Falco just kind of messes them up.
Yeah, do you kind of prioritize Popo until you can like hit him far enough away to then focus on Nana, or like? Yeah,
as Falco, I heavily prioritize Popo because the shine gets them in the air, and they can't reconnect until they're both on the ground. So as long as I'm like comboing one of them, then that's good. And like the damage on Nana doesn't really matter that much, right? Like you're not getting actual percent on the character. A lot of times getting like a big combo into Popo and hitting him. This is the biggest thing is you combo Popo and you get him off stage and then Nana just goes to the edge of the stage. Like watch when Popo goes to the edge, Nana's just right here and then you just hit her off.
Okay. Nice.
So I just combo Popo, back air, fair forward smash, whatever, get him off stage, then Nana just runs over here to the edge and then I do wave dash, boom, like that.
Nice, okay.
So yeah, I go for Popo a lot more. I only go for Nana if I'm in a spot where I'm like, oh, like free Nana kill off the top with shines or a B or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
But other than that, I almost always prioritize because like Popo is like the threat. Nana is only the real threat when she's controlled by the player. Mm-hmm. So as long as she's not controlled by the player, like. You know, Popo is like your opponent is stronger than like a level 3 CPU. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
So if they're controlling Popo, that's the one I want to beat up. I don't care about the other one that much. And like, it's a little different as Fox because you get these like they're split in the next half a second. You have to kill Nana or they're gonna get back together. You know, and like like Falco splits them so hard and for like such long periods of time that you just don't have like that same pressure that like. Oh no, like I need to get to them, you know, quickly. Need to kill Nana really fast. It's like, no, Nana can wait. Like, it'll
Yeah,
take a
yeah.
long time for her to get back, so I don't really need to prioritize her. And Falco is also slower, so, like, Fox has an easier time, like, carrying Nana off and killing her before Popo can get to him. Whereas Falco really, can't really do. He's not as quick, so you just want to just fight Popo for the most part.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely commit to that because I feel like sometimes my brain gets split. I'm like, well, what if I could kill Nana here? And
No, that'll happen forever. Like, it's just an incredibly
sure,
complicated character. Like, it happens to me
right.
all the time, too, because there's spots where, like, I could just insta-kill Nana, and then, like, Popo's just alone, and, like, those are totally fine. Sometimes it is right to kill Nana. These are just generalized guidelines.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, no, I feel like we covered a lot, and
Yeah, I think it was actually a really, really good lesson. I'm really excited to
yeah,
upload this
no,
for people.
yeah, no, really appreciate it. Yeah, I feel like once I implement like step one, start some chaos that gets them kind of either disconnected, desynced, whatever it might be, before
Mm-hmm.
then kind of committing to something, and then like playing the vertical game more, that should definitely help. But
Yep.
um,
Sounds
yeah,
good,
no,
man. All right, let me
yeah,
know how this
appreciate it.
helps. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.
Yeah, take care. Bye.
Peace.